I wanted to go on a study abroad because I love the world. I've seen it through movies and through books, and I've always wanted to go out and experience it for myself.
Well, I really wanted to go on a study abroad because I felt like it's never going to be another opportunity in my life where I'm young and I have the resources to go and that I have no obligations to anyone but myself.
I chose to go to New Zealand because it's been something that I wanted to do for, realistically speaking, about 24, 25 years.
Well, I told my mom that the option was there, and she said, "What do we have to do to get you to go?"
She's very excited for me to go and really experience London, and of course my dad's very excited.
My family is really excited. I'm actually the first one in my immediate family to leave the country, so my mom's ecstatic.
I expect to get experience out of this experience. I expect to get stories. I expect to get what it's like to be out of country trying to do a job, a journalism job. We're broadcast journalism majors. We're going there for photojournalism to figure out what we're doing, and I want to gain experience so I can take that to the table later on in life. And it's going to make for great stories. I don't even know what we're going to do there yet. I can't tell you everything that's going to happen, but I can tell you we're going to have some awesome things to tell other people about when we get back.
I hope to get just a broader spectrum of what the world really has to offer. I've lived in the United States most of my life. I've been to a lot of states and traveled the country, but I've never traveled internationally, and I've heard many stories and seen many videos and seen many pictures. To go experience it myself, I mean, that's going to be awesome.
Visit all the places that I've seen before in movies and TV shows or read about in books.
It's going water rafting. So they said we're able to set that up, and they said that we'll see crocodiles in the water. So I'm really excited to go water rafting.
In Swaziland, I hope to learn all about the different cultures going on there, whether it be the religious aspects of it or how they conduct their day-to-day lives. And I really want to try and teach myself how to capture that either on film or for video.
I'm really excited to see elephants. I've never seen an elephant up close and personal, and we get a chance to ride elephants. And I'm really excited to see cultural dances, like initial African dances. So,
the thing I look most forward to seeing while I'm there is the people. The animals sounds like fun, but I really want to see the day-to-day life of people in Swaziland. I want to see the boy carrying water. I want to see the mom making a blanket. I want to see the people, the culture of Swaziland.
I also got scholarships through the Global Engagement Center and the Study Abroad program.
The faculty have been more than helpful in giving us the information that we need to be prepared for the programs, for what we're going to find.
I feel really prepared because we already have plane tickets, and our instructors were able to tell us how it will be going into the country and all the things that I felt like I really needed to know. So I feel pretty prepared.
I feel like if I have any questions, the faculty is all really approachable. So if I have a panic beforehand or whatever, I should be more than fine just being able to call them and finding out what's going on.
Yes, I got my passport, and that was the best feeling ever because now I can go anywhere.
I've never been on a plane before, ever. So that's going to be a new experience, but I'm going with some of the other people on the trip who have been on planes before, so they'll be able to help me with that. Other than that, I feel extremely prepared. They've taught us well, I've studied well, I'm really excited about it.
Definitely more of what's expected of me and less of what to expect, but they try to convey how their experience was, but then they tell us oh, but this might happen or that might happen, so don't be surprised if something goes wrong. So it's I feel like you won't really know until you get there and experience it for yourself, but they've done all they could do.
It's different getting out of the classroom and going out and actually doing something. And I think that makes it more real and more applicable to my major, at least, being able to go out and do it rather than talking about it.
For the theater class, the coursework played exactly with the trip. It was, you know, we watched a play, we wrote about the play, and we talked about each of the essays beforehand, which was really nice because it let us watch the play specifically thinking about the topic of the essay and the bits of the essay that we needed to be looking for. And so that was really nice.
We learned a lot, and we got to learn on location, which was like the best, because they'd be like, oh, this is what ecotourism is. Now we're gonna go here and learn about it from these people, and we got a chance to like ask them questions.
Some of the insights I got was the people are just there are nice. They're engaging. When you walk down the street and you say hi, it was a very engaging hello, eye contact and everything, and that's just not something you get. I mean, I hate to say it, that's not something you normally get in America.
And they're really interested about life here in America and your life as a student particularly, especially the college students there. We had a lot of them asking us what our universities were like compared to theirs. The ones at the South African Wildlife College wanted to know how long we studied here, how much we paid, what kind of courses we took. And everyone there was just really interested, and they didn't pretend to care. They genuinely did.
I learned that although they're poor, they're very happy. In America, we always want more. We always wanted the next big thing, the next cell phone, or the next this. We will never be happy with what we have because we know we can have more. But in Africa, they're happy because that's all they know.
I think for me, it might have just been the little things, just being in Africa and being able to have an experience, but at the same time step back away from it and think, wow, I'm in Africa, or just sitting with the students and the professors at the end of the day and talking about what you did.
Across from the portrait gallery, the National Portrait Gallery, there is this beautiful cathedral, and you can go in and you can worship with them, but you can also go downstairs to the crypt of the church, which is actually a restaurant. It's built into the crypt of the church, so there's still like tomb headstones everywhere, and it was the best food I'd ever eaten over there.
Going on the tube was always an adventure. I absolutely loved the tube. I'd been studying the tube maps before we even got there, and one of the very first days they gave us each a list of locations, and we had to go to each of those tube stops and take a picture before we could go back to Regents. And it was a race. We were in different teams, and that was so much fun because it gave us a taste of the city and how the tubes worked.
And then we got to ride elephants, which was amazing because it's like these like huge kind of gentle creatures that you get to like sit on top of and walk around, and you get to feed them and pet them. So that was great. And then we went zip lining over this like amazing savanna jungle-esque place where we like zipping through trees, and we came across this like bridge that was kind of like a little sketch, but it was it's kind of skinny, and you know, you got to do all these things. So I really liked the zip lining part. Then we went whitewater rafting. We went down this like waterfall, and that was great. And we went four-wheeling, which like four-wheeling in America is fun because you're like, yay, I'm on four wheels. But four-wheeling in Africa is like surreal. Like you're going through all these like trees that you've never seen and all these like plants and water, and you're like, whoa, like, man, four-wheeling just got 10 times more awesome.
The instructors were wonderful. They were all super kind, very understanding, lots of fun. I never felt like they were just the tour guide telling us what to do. They were laughing with us and joking with us and having conversations with us.
John and Anne are very knowledgeable when it comes to their area. I'm not really much of an ecotourist or an outdoor conservationist, but that trip really opened up my eyes because she is so passionate about it.
It's like when you see them outside of school, it's kind of like seeing like an animal walk on their hind legs, but it's really great how well you get to know your professors over there, and it's a lot of fun to interact with them in a trip sort of area instead of just, you know, in a classroom.
Traveling with the students was actually really good. I was kind of nervous because I was like, oh, we're gonna be like stuck together, we're all gonna fight. But we were actually a really close-knit group.
Even the one day when I got separated from the group and had to find my way back to the college on my own, I never felt worried for my safety because they'd given us the tools that we needed. both in being able to find our way and in knowing how to act around all the other people in such a big city, that I never felt like I was in any way in danger.
Okay, so we were really safe. Before we went, they prepped us and they were like, okay, you have to be safe. Like, don't leave anything on the seat of the car. Don't stray away from the group. Don't like do anything that can put yourselves in harm's way. So when we got there, they were really adamant about like, oh, where are you going? Take someone with you. Meet us back here. Where are you going? Take someone with you. Meet us back here.
There were so many parts of this experience that could never be duplicated in a classroom. The plays, for one. Being able to see all those plays live and in person at the West End was just a fantastic experience.
In a classroom, you kind of just read out of a textbook or you like take notes, but we were taking notes as we actually were like driving and seeing animals, and as we were, you know, experiencing things, and as we were in boats, and as we were ziplining, and as we were like seeing lions and elephants and rhinos. And so you definitely couldn't see all that in a classroom. It's way different than when you see it in a textbook, than when you're actually seeing it for yourself and actually experiencing things.
I don't think we're going to come around the corner on a pack of wild lions in a classroom, at least I hope not. But the one-on-one experience with the people as well. Wildlife aside, the people, we're not going to get, you'll get that experience every so often in a university with international students and stuff, but when you're the one being immersed in their culture, you're the one learning about them, what's appropriate, how to shake hands, how to say hello, if you can ask someone their age or not, which we learned the hard way, you cannot ask some people their age. That teaches you life skills more than book work in my mind, but in our case it goes hand in hand because that's what has to do with being a photojournalist and the conservation side of everything. You have to learn to get out of your comfort zone and learn things that aren't what you're usually expected to be learning.
The trip was absolutely worth the price. I had a fantastic time. I got all sorts of experiences that I never would have been able to have otherwise. I got to do all sorts of things that I never would have thought to look for if I had gone to England on my own, and it was the best.
In my mind, the trip was completely worth the price. It was a little bit more than an average semester here at school, only we got to spend it abroad and earn credits for it, so I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Was it worth the money? Of course. You go to Hobbiton, you go to, you know, and you're sitting in this place that you've seen all these movies, and now you're there, you're standing in the same spot of all these actors, you're like, holy crap.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth the price. It feels steep when you're paying for it, but once you're there, it's definitely worth it.
To the parents of kids who want to go study abroad, don't worry about it. The money may sound like a lot, but the experience is worth the money, every penny of it. Don't worry, you don't need to worry about the safety. The instructors go to great care to make sure that every situation, every route, everything is planned safely.
Study abroad is worth it is straight up because it gets you out of your comfort zone. People don't realize how comfortable they feel in the United States, and that's okay. The United States is supposed to feel comfortable and you're supposed to feel safe. But there's something about once you cross that border and get off the plane and you first hear everybody talk in an accent besides you, and all of a sudden you're the different one, it's a certain feeling of uncomfortableness, and to be able to go from that to learning about that culture, to experiencing it one-on-one, to wherever you're going, whether it be Africa, China, London, Australia, wherever, you're going to have an out of your comfort zone experience. And I think that's why it's important, is because you need to get out of the classroom, get out of the country, and go experience what it's like to study and learn outside of what you're used to.
To future students who are considering studying abroad, do it. Absolutely do it. I had a wonderful experience. At the same time that I went to England, one of my best friends went on a study abroad trip to New Zealand. She said it was the best part of her life. She kept posting pictures of her at a hobbit hole and saying, I can't believe this actually counts as school. And that is exactly what I felt. Every time I looked at Big Ben.
You have to do it. In a course of 4 to 5 years that most college students go through, take a summer, take 2 weeks, and go experience the world.
I would say go and study abroad, because it will never be another time in your life where you're young, You don't really have any obligations to anyone else, and you can go and travel the country and learn so much and bring back what you learned to your current life.
You'll have this experience that you'll be able to take with you for years and tell stories about and have imagery of these locations that depending on where you go, you may not ever go there again. And you're simply there because you're at a university that provides the opportunity for you to go.
The trip definitely exceeded my expectations. We did so much, and I didn't think it would be like a lot of things compacted into the trip, but all the things that we got to do, I was like, wow, I didn't think we'd get to do this, and it was just amazing.
It exceeded them in almost every way, just because nothing ever is exactly how you picture it, only this time it ended up being better.
I didn't know really what to expect, but once we got there, we started doing things, it totally blew away all levels of expectations. Like, all levels.
We came around the corner at one of the parks we were at, and there was a group of lions feasting on a fresh kill not that far away from us. And that was really, really exhilarating. And to get some wildlife shots of wild lions doing their thing was just awesome.
My favorite part of the trip was just being there. I love England. I love everything about it. And it was wonderful to be able to go see all those places that I love and the things that I love and to actually be there.
We were able to share some experiences with Sandile that we'll remember the rest of our lives, because when we went ziplining our first day there, Sandile was with us, and he is extremely scared of heights, has never done ziplining ever, even though that's part of his job is to take people there, and we convinced him to get on with us and go flying across these canyons, dangling, and just hearing Sandile holler, I'll remember that forever. And being able to be excited to tell him at the end of the trip when we met back up with him about all we had learned and all we had gained from the trip, I really feel like Sandile is going to be one I remember.
If I had to choose one word to describe my overall experience, it would probably be just magical.
Epic. I think that word's thrown around a lot, but I think epic really summarizes that. Africa.
I'm gonna go with sensational.
I have been forever changed, so I would say it was a life-changing experience.